I'd like to say good evening and welcome. Yes, it's Gay Detroit Radio time, and I'm James D. I'm your host. Don't forget, every Friday at 9 p.m. on www.radio-op.com. We got lots to talk about, the usual things with the usual idiots. Yes, what can I say? We've got like people thinking that they don't expect to meet gay people in heaven. People think that gay people they can't stop Ebola because of gay rights, and Ted Cruz is usually asking for civil disobedience. The usual crap from the usual people, and we're going to say it all with tongue-in-cheek. We've also got a young man called Josh Derke. He's running for state representative in the 93rd District. Very interesting young man. We'll be talking to him a little bit later, but until then, we're going to have a little bit of news, a little bit of politics, and a little bit of music. It's a nice little song, actually a little medley of two songs here. One's like Over the Rainbow and What a Wonderful World. I kind of mixed them both together and came out with a simple little song like this. I'm James Detroit Radio. I'm Gay Detroit Radio. I'm James D even. I shall talk to you soon. Bye.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying that I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll never know how much we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, that someday I wish upon a star, wake up when the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, dreaming the dreams that you dream of. Why, oh why can't I somewhere over the rainbow, ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes, a little whimsical song there, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, with What a Wonderful World, which actually brings me to my segue. This is the stupid section because, trust me, there's a lot of stupidity in this section. Cannot understand it, do not want to understand it, but it's happening in our world, especially with our little Republican friend here in U.S. Republican Stephen King. He's a Republican Kieran. Suggests gays won't make it to heaven. What's more, in an interview, King actually intimated that the divorced or cohabitators could be thwarted in their pursuit of eternal salvation as the Christian faith teaches it. Now, that's just not the gays, mind you, but cohabitors, that's not you married people, and divorced, you're all going to hell, damn it. Well, what can I say? I'm actually picturing this guy. I don't think he's going to get there as well because, hating and blaspheming and screaming and judging and isn't that one of the deadly sins? Yes, pride. He's going to join us there because pride often cometh before a fall, and fall he's going to. Now, apparently, in Kansas, there are like 7 absurd legal arguments against the marriage equality from a straight couple. Yes, a happy hetero couple are deciding to stick their little noses in. Nothing else. In a 6-page motion to intervene, they filed U.S. District Court for Kansas City on Wednesday. Philip and Sandra Unruh, that's pronounced U-N-R-U-H, Unruh, present a litany of reasons why the couple believes that they have a legal right to defend the state's ban on same-sex marriage. And it was actually scheduled to be heard yesterday, but I haven't heard anything yet. It's like marriage has always been between one man and one woman. Marriage itself is property that belongs only to heterosexual couples. Actually, marriage is a contract of law. It's a contract, my dear. And contracts don't only belong to heterosexual couples. Hate to tell you that. Okay, in other words, same-sex couples are being greedy by seeking relationship recognition, but straight people don't want to share marriage. Well, actually, you don't want to keep marriage either because you keep getting divorced. Okay, same-sex couples seeking marriage want to validate their choice so they don't deserve equality. Okay, once we're back to that choice again, it's sexual orientation, not a sexual preference or sexual choice. marriage equality directly harms straight people. Well, well, I can't understand how my marriage equality will completely harm your stupidity. Maybe education could harm your stupidity. That would be nice. Okay, let's see now. Oh yes, the thought of marriage equality leaves the unruhs disturbed, but not because of bigotry. Disturbed is definitely the operative word here, because the unruhs, is this for unruly? Ah, dear. Okay, and last but not least, granting same-sex couples access to marriage makes it cease to exist, causing existential linguistic crisis. What the fuck is that? Makes it cease. So if we get access to marriage, it makes it cease to exist, and it causes existential linguistic crises. I wonder if that's plural or single, because you've got existential. So something to do with their existing language problems. Crock of shit. Really. These people are so desperate it's untrue. And also now we've got also a top via Virginia, I believe, GOP advisor. He's actually unhinged on Facebook apparently, because he's saying that gay sex leaves men in diapers pooping in their pants. This is Steve Waters, an advisor to Republican congressional candidate Dave Bratt in Virginia, and he argued this week that homosexual was not normal because it caused cancer, and would eventually force gay men to wear diapers by destroying their rectal muscles. Okay, a little bit on history of the human body here, and maybe a little bit of the anatomy as well. Sorry, I'm getting so frustrated with these people. It's untrue. It's making my mouth stop working. It's been proven that actually intercourse with men for women too also causes cancer. That's why a lot of women do have to have hysterectomies, because of the continual sex act with a man. Does cause vaginal and uteral cancer in the uterus. That's one thing. Also, as well, childbirth actually can damage the vaginal walls, as well as also can cause hemorrhoids, and also, believe it or not, women can actually bleed to death if not stopped at the right moment through the access and the process of childbirth. So are you going to stop women having sex because it ruins their vaginas too? Just want to make a point and a clarification on that, if you will, please. I wonder if his father actually sort of wears Depends. Maybe he should have been shot into space, or his mother should have swallowed. Okay, Pam Bondi in Florida. She's the Attorney General in Florida. She's at it again. Yes, now she wants to file an opposition to a same-sex couple's divorce. She doesn't want to allow it. So first of all, she doesn't want to allow marriages. And now secondly, she doesn't allow us to get divorced. But yet this divorced bimbo doesn't want anybody to have anything. Bondi has defended the ban enacted by the voters in 2008, and several states and federal lawsuits in which judges have ruled it violates the constitutional equal protection guarantees. She's still fighting that nobody is allowed equal rights, but yet she can get married when she wants, she can get divorced when she wants, mainly because she's the Attorney General. Well, this blonde bimbet is obviously fighting a losing battle. Come on, Michigan, we're still waiting for you as well. Sixth Circuit needs to make up their mind quickly. You know, I have a tax deduction. God damn it! I got married last year. Let's have some music, and we'll be right back. This is Joy, and it's taken from the movie March On. You can actually go to marchon.com and find out about it's about the equality, the March On in Washington in 1998, and it's a documentary come movie. A few of my friends are in there. It's a really good movie, and I think you can get it for like $20 and download it, something like that. But this is one of the tracks from March On the movie. Hope you like it. I'm James D, and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio. I'll be right back.
Agents of change to inspire a joyful prayer.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sound there. One of the soundtracks from the movie March On. Go see that. It really is. Or actually, sorry, download the CD even, go see it, or the DVD. Whatever it is. Dear, can't get my mind together this week. Because we really, I've got lots and lots to talk about. And there's some really strange ones this week. Really, I mean, even more so. There's an author saying that the South should form a new nation without gays and Hispanics called Reagan. A conservative columnist and a former aide to President Ronald Reagan called on all southern states to secede and form an ultra-conservative new nation named after his old boss, Reagan. Douglas McKinnon, a former speechwriter for the Presidents Reagan and George Bush, appeared Tuesday on the Janet Medford show to promote his new book, The Secessionist States of America. It's a blueprint for creating a traditional values country. Anyway, so what he wants is to get a state and call it Reagan, so there's no gays, no Hispanics, and so really, and call it Reagan. Well, actually, the thing is, it will not be Ebola-free or AIDS-free, because if you remember, Ronald Reagan actually ignored the AIDS epidemic until it got way over 28,000 Americans had died from the disease before he actually condescended to give a little donation or a little grant of $5,000, which unfortunately doesn't even cover the price of a bed these days. Donated $5,000 to an AIDS research fund, and that was after 28,000 deaths, American deaths, and it was thrown out by his advisors at least, I think it was like 13 or 14 times, because it was laughingly called the gay disease. Now, all of a sudden, Republicans have got a few deaths on with Ebola and all screaming blue murder. It's not. Is it because it's not a gay disease? Because Ebola, isn't that a virus too? And people are saying, yes, that's been out for years, but so is AIDS. It's not airborne. It's by bodily fluid contact. So please, let's start getting things perspective. We're not dying yet. What can I say? Now, GOP cranking. This is good. Now, this is a Michigan Republican. He's running for an open seat in a state house. I think he wants to be the state representative that Josh is going to be running for later. This is rather ridiculous because he's saying we should actually, if the state, I'll have to say this, if the state wants to trample religious freedom, we go somewhere else where our values are welcome. This candidate wrote on his Facebook on October the 8th, Michigan loses tax money, economic performance, jobs, etc. if they choose to be entrenched with the homosexual agenda. It's time for the conservative Christians to vote with their feet and their dollars. Well, he was actually voting with much more than that. He was voting with his hand on his penis, because he was actually caught a little while ago, and he had to sort of get out of the race, because he was the little pervert masturbating in cars and really getting off, and he was caught. Ah, dear. So he'd rather masturbate in a car and get away from the homosexual agenda. These people are so totally ridiculous. Okay, and the Alaska Republican, yes, Sarah Palin country, my God. He stuns a high school crowd by comparing gay marriage to bulls having sex. He's the longest-serving Republican in the U.S. House. He made a bizarre, combative appearance on Tuesday at an Alaska high school, and the 81-year-old drew gaffes with a hurtful and sensitive remarks about a suicide just days after a student from the school. Do you know? I don't understand why these dinosaurs and these idiots are even elected into power. You know, they are just so really totally idiotic. I cannot understand why these people comparing homosexuals to bulls having sex, just taking it for granted, blaming students for another student's suicide. This man is just totally ridiculous. And actually, to end the ridiculousness of this phase in the show, there's in the US, Ellen Page and Julianne Moore. They've actually banned now from shooting a gay rights film in a Catholic school. Ellen Page and Julianne Moore have been told they can no longer shoot on location at a New York Catholic boys' school for their up-and-coming gay rights drama, Freeheld. This is ridiculous. I just can't understand these people. Anyway, listen. Let's have another song. One of mine, a new one, and it's called My World, a little dramatic song for the dramatic section we've just had. This is My World by James Dean. I'll be right back after this song. Yes, and welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio. Today, I've got a very interesting guest, a very savvy young man by the name of Josh Derke, and he's running for state representative in the rather conservative area of the 93rd District in Michigan. And he caught my eye in a reply he gave to a certain group, an anti-gay group. We'll talk about that later, but I'd like to introduce this young man. Josh Derke, welcome to our show. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm happy to be here for this interview.
Right, so now just explain, because you are running for state representative, and you did mention to me that it is a very conservative area, so what are you up against and how are you going to battle this?
Well, the Republican incumbent is fairly entrenched, and, it's about a 60-40 conservative split.
Uh-huh.
So my strategy would be to get out my Democratic base while there's actually an independent conservative running, and he's going to be fighting over the same base as the Republican incumbent. So there's a chance for me to win if they split the vote.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Divide and conquer. That's a great thing. What caught me was the one article that I saw, and it was actually on Facebook a little while ago. And it says, actually, read this Michigan Democrats' epic response to an anti-gay group's, and in brackets, pile of excrement. Now, This actually I like because you actually wrote a letter to this group. I'll let you explain more, but you caught my attention when you said, unfortunately, the homosexuals have got their well-manicured claws into me already. Well, I thought that was just such a wonderful response, and so I'm actually going to get my unmanicured claws into you. Because I am a farm boy. And just explain why you actually wrote this letter to this anti-gay group.
Right. Candidates that are running for office get inundated with these surveys from groups who want another position for support and donations. And, I've gotten some surveys from some pretty far-right groups, and it's nothing like this. I mean, this survey is by a guy, as I understand it, who's an elected official in Virginia, and it was just loaded with, man
and woman should be redefined and all this yada yada. Yeah, just making sure that
and
everybody's got to be man, woman, and unhappy for the rest of their lives. Yes, go on.
Right, and they throw in pedophilia with homosexuality and transsexuality with the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, and there's just these rhetoric games they like to play to try to skew what the actual conversation is on this, and I find this reprehensible. I have my brother is gay, and I want to stand up for him and all of my gay and lesbian and trans friends. I mean, they don't want any special treatment. They just want to be able to live their lives.
Also, let me just clarify one thing as well. You are actually heterosexual.
Yes, I am. I have
well, that's the one thing I'm trying to get across, because, I mean, a lot of people think that you've got to be actually homosexual or gay to be on this show. No, it's just that where everybody is welcome. There's no, discrimination here. And if you're a bigot, you're twice as welcome, because then we can rip you apart. But it's just, no, it's just that we have allies, and like I've got, believe it or not, a gay metal show coming up. And it's like gay people are into heavy metal. And I thought, geez, who'd have thought? And that's what I love, because now we're hearing diversities of every sort of league in life, and I just think it's wonderful, So please carry on. Sorry, I digress.
Well, I am heterosexual. I have a long-term girlfriend who's getting her PhD in Philadelphia right now at the University of Pennsylvania. I am an ally of the LGBT community, and like I said, they don't want anything special. They just want to be able to live their lives without fear of being fired for who they are, or bullied, or harassed.
Well, I just think it's just wonderful what you're doing, and so obviously, being an ally for the gay community is not the only thing you're going to be working on in, being the Democratic Party, because I mean, obviously, you can't just cocoon yourself to one spectrum. I mean, it's just like what. I know you're going to obviously fight for your brother and fight for rights, but then again, that's equality for everyone. So, I mean, there are other avenues where equality is not being, is actually being oppressed as well. Such as, like, for one thing I really found, which was really annoying, was the Hobby Lobby debacle, whereas that to me was completely taking away a woman's uterus. I mean, how are you going to combat that as well? Obviously, because you're going to be for women's rights as well.
Right. I actually received the Planned Parenthood Advocates of Michigan endorsement for this election because I support equal rights for women and equal pay and having access to health care that they need. And the thing about the Hobby Lobby decision is that it's very badly reasoned when you actually read it. And the justices tried to play it off as being narrowly tailored for, the specific case, but we've already seen exceptions made to that, and it's expanding. And one of the things that I want to do is, make sure that we're actually having a real conversation about this that's not about rhetoric, but that's actually about science and women's health. And the way to do that is to educate. So I'm a proponent of real sex education for, teenagers in high school, so that they're equipped with a knowledge of anatomy and physiology and how all this works, so that they're not just, beholden to, rhetoric about this that's misleading.
There's also another avenue as well, because, I mean, I've been reading a lot now, whereas a lot of teachers are saying, well, we're not going to, because you're infringing on our religious freedom, which is a joke, then we're not going to teach children about gay people. So that's actually sort of trying to cocoon your child from something that's going to happen in life. I mean, I come from a heterosexual cocoon. Both my parents are Catholic heterosexuals, were married for many years. And here I pop out, this screaming queen with an English accent. So, I mean, it is a fact of life now, and it has been for millennia and since man was born. So do you actually believe that we should try and get more education to children as well?
When it comes to education about sexuality, whether it's about reproduction or, human sexuality, whether you're, gay or lesbian, you should,
I don't mean going to graphics. I mean, I just mean saying, it's like, well, he likes guys, she likes women, and that's it, You don't have to go into demographics.
Right, the key is exposure, right?
Yes.
When I was young, I was exposed to a diverse array of people and ideas, and it helped me learn that, there's nothing wrong with people who are different than you, and that's sort of key. I mean, people who are fundamentalist or religious will say that, we got to protect children from these deviants, but really what we need to do is expose them to other points of view and other ways of being, so that they can make their own conclusions about it. And I feel that when that happens, they have better understanding, they're more informed, and we tend to see that they're less prejudiced.
Well, do you know what? Let's have a little bit of music, and we'll come back. If you can spare a few more minutes, I would really love that, because our listeners love to listen to very interesting young men, and you are a very interesting young man. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Josh Derke, and he's running for state representative. State representative. Sorry, there's so many. Do you know one thing I found about over here is there's so many different pigeonholes in politics. In England, it's a little more simpler, Here's you've got oh my God, there's so many jobs. It's untrue. Anyway, you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio, and we'll be right back after some music. I'm James D.
Ella me encanta. Tu carita pidiendo más, más, más aún.
Yes, welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio. And we do have a very interesting young man, a true LGBT advocate, a happy hetero, as we like to call them. And he's great. He's looking for the 93rd District in Michigan, which is just north of Lansing, I believe, a very conservative area. And he's also got some very interesting topics to talk about. And he's very pro-science as well, which is not a Republican thinking. So, Josh, tell us more about your science thinking and what you think.
Well, one of the things I wanted to do as a career was to get into to be a physician's assistant, and that requires a rather thorough science background. And science has taught me over the years how to think critically about information and how to evaluate it. And I think that's very important when we're talking about topics like human sexuality or global warming or policy about urbanization, for instance. And what I see is that there aren't enough people who are in state government or even the federal government who have a firm grasp of what science is and how to handle information.
Well, we're having a lot of problems with the Republicans at the moment, especially with the Koch brothers, with the fracking and the global warming, and they're saying silly, ridiculous things like, well, there can't be global warming because there's still ice in Iceland. And, we've been saying this for years now, at least 30 years to my knowledge, that, there has been global warming. So why now is it such a hot topic, if you pardon the pun?
Right. What we're seeing is sort of an accelerated period of changes. So more extreme weather that can be correlated with the global warming trends, hottest days and months on record. I think I just read that this September this year was the hottest on record in the U.S. And global warming doesn't just imply that there's going to be warming. It implies that there's going to be more extreme weather patterns, like colder in winter, more rain, drought. Just looking out west in California, that is the kind of situations we're talking about. These have huge and real impacts, and we see that there's oil companies that are trying to fudge the debate by saying, "Oh, there's no global warming," or scientists disagree. That's the kind of thing that's going to make us feel prepared for handling the changes in our climate. That's going to be more apparent as time goes on.
Well, I just, like I said, it's just a lot of people. You've got all these. You've got Huckabee, you've got Santorum, you've got Perry, you've got all these. And Rush Limbaugh. I really, honestly, what a waste of oxygen. Unfortunately, but it's just they seem to be sort of backtracking and saying, well, they can't be this, but yet science is proving, and yet they don't want to. And it's like the Christians in a way as well. Not all Christians, but it's like also with the Pope recently was doing all this. Well, we should actually gays have gifts to give towards Christianity. I'm paraphrasing, but then all of a sudden the Christian right in the background said, no. Then all of a sudden it's showing the Pope for what he really is a puppet. Is this going to be the same things for governments? Are they really puppets as well? What do you think?
Well, this is why it's important to have people who listen to scientists, who can think critically about these issues. At some point, they switched from saying that scientists don't all agree about global warming to saying that we can't afford it economically, which shows that even to some extent they're starting to see that the trends are not looking good. And, when they switch over to, we can't afford cap and trade, it's bad for the economy, I just think, well, if we don't do anything to stop it, it's going to be even worse for the economy. With regard to, what the Pope said and how he, the Vatican backtracked, it speaks to the influence of special interests on our political and religious leaders.
That was very well said, very tactfully said, young man. That was an excellent reply. Now, listen, we're running out of time. So, what is it you are going to be fighting for your election campaign? Because obviously, it's got to be important for you to win. So, what will you be fighting for?
I will be fighting for all everyone in my district, whether they're in the LGBT community, whether they're women, religious or ethnic minorities. Everyone deserves an equal voice. Everyone deserves to have, a seat at the table. And I think that's important for a properly functioning democracy. The plurality of ideas helps us to move forward, and it keeps us thinking. It keeps us thinking about new and fresh ideas, and that's very vital for the state of Michigan right now, especially with how we're facing some serious problems, and it seems to me that the entrenched political class only wants to focus on the easy solutions that are good in the short run, that look good, like spend $300 million to pave a new road here, but don't address how we're going to fund it into the future.
That's right.
That's the kind of stuff we're looking at right now, and we need somebody who's interested in going in there to think long term. How can we reform the system to make it better now and 50 years from now?
Thank you ever so much, Josh Derke. Absolutely wonderful, and also we're rooting for Mark Schauer as well. Do you think he's got a chance? Because I think he's got a strong possibility of a chance, personally. I think so. Josh Derke, thank you ever so much. And he's running for the 93rd District, just in Michigan, just north of Lansing. Hopefully, I will talk to you once again, sir. Just hold on while I finish this part and we go into a segment. That was Josh Derke, and he's going to be running for the 93rd District, just north of Lansing. And I think we're going to see a lot of this young man. I'm going to play some music, and I will talk to you soon. I'm James D., and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio.
Short days, you'll be gone away, and I'll be on my own. And isn't it perfect? Damn, it was worth it. So sad you had to go. I had a good time, we both had fun, right? No matter how short it was. And is it, baby? It's our sweetest things that our hearts to let go. Before you leave me, oh my darling, there's one last thing I need you to do. You have to break this heart. I need help getting over you. Just go on, tell me something you don't mean. Make it cruel, make it good out of me. Tell me something so untrue. Make it mean, make it hurt, make me bleed. Lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. Go on, just lie to me, lie to me, lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. Come on, just lie to me, lie to me. By the time you hear this, you'll be in Chicago, so far away from here. And you'll be doing fine with a brand new life. Be in New York in your rearview mirror. Has to be right here, feeling worse for wear, and wondering when I'll stop breathing. Oh, heartbreak can't get, but I wish it could. Cause when you're gone, what's the point in living? All before you pick up the phone, the call you stay and wish I was there. Oh, don't tell me you miss me, baby. We both know that's not what I need to hear. Just go on, tell me something you don't mean. Make it cold, make it cruel, make it good out of me. Tell me something so untrue. Make it mean, make it hurt, make me bleed out of me. something you don't mean. Make it cold, make it cruel, make it cut. Lie to me. Tell me something so untrue. Make it mean, make it hurt, make me bleed. Lie to me. Tell me something you don't mean. Make it cold, make it cruel, make it cut. Lie to me. Tell me something so untrue. Make it mean, make it hurt, make me bleed. Lie to me. Lie to me. Lie to me. Go on, just lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. Lie to me. Lie to me. Come on, just lie to me, lie to me.
Well, that's it. We're on the final rundown for Gay Detroit Radio this week. Don't forget, every week at 9 o'clock, we are on www.radio-op.com. You can also get us on gaydetroitradio.com 24/7. Also, if you want to contact us, it's gaydetroitradio@gmail.com. Facebook is Gay Detroit Radio and Gay Detroit Radio at Twitter. So don't forget, you can get us everywhere. Lots of support this week from a few stars. We've got this nice little thing as well. There's exclusive for Jennifer Hudson. She's actually raising her voice for marriage equality. Good for her. There's also Lady Gaga. She actually jumps for joy when a gay man proposes to his partner on stage at her show. So she was really excited for that. And also, last but not least, this is actually very funny. Lisa Kudrow from Friends. She believes that gay men are superior beings. What can I say? On that note, I'm by saying goodbye. See you next week. I'm James D, and this is Gay Detroit Radio. Bye now.